the better prepared you are, the more successful you will be in the interview. So in this webinar, I'm not only going to discuss the questions along with the answers, but also I'll help you to understand why the interviewer is asking that question. What he is looking in that question from you. So let's look at the questions one by one. The first question, tell me about yourself. Generally, whenever the interviewer asks this question, they want you to be comfortable. Whatever questions they will ask, you will not be very comfortable. But the best question to make you comfortable is asking about yourself. In this question, the interviewer is not really looking what you answer, but they are looking about your confidence, how confident you are, about your enthusiasm, and the passion with which you answer their question. So I would say, please use this opportunity to show your confidence, enthusiasm, and your communication skills. I have observed, I have been into HR, I have handled more than 10,000 interviews. So I have observed my personal experience. People generally say, I love traveling, I love spending time with my friends. No, that is not correct. You need to talk about yourself. Where do you belong to? What's your education, your qualification, and about your personal self. So always start with your name, full name. Don't talk about your first name only. Talk about your full name. Give from where you belong to your place information, your education details. If you have any job experience, any previous experience, then mention about that, and family details in short. Only talk about your family details in short, not in details about what they do, what all, who many, how, what are their hobbies and all those things. No, only in short about their family. I'll give you example. How will I introduce myself? Hi, I'm Shreya Govind. I'm from Bihar. I have studied MBA, and right now I'm working for an organization in a HR department. I take care of HR analytics, and I really love numbers, and that's exactly, I love to solve them. And in my spare time, I like reading and also go out for jogging. In my family members, there are 4 people, including me, my husband, and my 2 kids. That's how you need to introduce yourself. Now, let's move on to the second question. What is your strength? Here, the interviewer is looking how positive you think about yourself. It is a very general question. So there's no right or wrong. There's no one liner you should talk about it. That I am very friendly person. I love being with friends. I love in, traveling. I love drawing and all those things. No. If I have to talk about my strength, I will say I pay attention to details. I totally believe in planning and executing. So many of you are students here, so you can relate with your college example. So even when I was in a college, I used to organize my week, and many people, because of my outgoing nature, have said that I am very approachable, quite approachable. So I believe these are my strengths. You can also say I am honest, self-motivated, and hard-working person with a positive attitude towards my career and my life. I hope I'm making some sense. If you have any questions, please write it in the chat window and share it with us. We'll answer after that. Now, the next question is, what is your weakness? Now, you may think why an interviewer is asking about your weak point. I would like to tell you all here in this question, you need not be very negative about yourself. I have heard people saying that I am a very impatient person. I get angry very easily. Well, that's not the correct way to answer this question. An interviewer is not looking to bring out your weakness, but they are looking that how do you identify your weakness? If yes, how do you cover it? How do you overcome that? So the best way to say this, so I'll give an example. I say my weakness is that I'm too much detail oriented. I try to accomplish everything, and I want everything to be perfect. And I realize that I lose on time. So maybe I end up submitting my project little late. So I think this is one of the weakness. So here you are trying to say that you are detail oriented, you are perfect, you try to be always perfect, but you know that you sometimes tend to lose your time. So in the end, I will say whenever this question is asked, try to turn negative into a positive. Never ever talk about negative thing to them. Now the next question, where do you see yourself in next 5 years, or what are your long term goals? In this question, I have seen many a times interviewers struggle to answer this. Many people might not have a clear idea or exact idea how you should be there or what you have to answer. I would like to say, people say, I would like to be a CEO, or I would like to start my own company. But, dear friends, is it possible that in 5 years you start your own company or you be a CEO? Not possible for everyone. So, that does not sound right. So, in this question, the interviewer is looking at how committed you are going to be for this company. Are you have you defined your career path? They are looking for this in this question. So the best way to answer this question is that, well, 5 years from now, I see myself in a management position. Till then, I would like to gain practical experience and eventually become a manager. And of course, I would like to share that I want to learn a lot of new things from my seniors and my team members. So by answering this, you are showing your commitment, because whenever anyone is hired in any organization, the organization spends a lot of time and money to get that, to do something for that individual. So they want to see how committed you are for the organization. So always talk about the role or your commitment towards that organization. Now, the next question, which are generally most frequently asked in an interview, is, what do you know about our company? You might be thinking, why an interviewer is asking that what do you know about our company? He knows quite well about the company. He is working there, but he wants to know whether you are serious for this job or not. whether you have just come as a time pass for this interview or you are prepared enough. You want to work for this organization. They want to check this. So, my advice to everyone is that you should always present, do sufficient research and find about the details of the company, learn about their product or services, their history, their board of the members, the CEO, MD, all those details about the company, and then only go for that interview. How, if you ask me, how will I answer this question? I will say, well, your company has started in 1999. They have branches in these many cities, and the head office is located in this city. And I know that your company is well known for customer service. And also, I know it has won the Best Service Award for Customer Excellence. And also, you have a great clientele. That's the way you need to answer this question. Now, the next question asked in an interview is, how do you handle change? The motive, or I'll say the philosophy behind this question is whether you would be able to cope up with the changes which are happening in and around the company, outside or inside the company. The external factors also affect the internal changes which happens in the organization. So whether you are ready to cope up with those changes or not. Many a times companies come up with different strategies, employees join, leave, and you would you be able to handle that? I have seen people answering this question, yeah, I'm very much comfortable in handling change. I cope up with change very easily. But my dear friends, this is not the correct way to answer this question. You should say this, well, of course, I can handle change. In my previous company, one of the bosses to whom I was reporting had to quit, and there was a new boss who came, and he had to completely change he had completely changed the entire strategy of the project. So I am very flexible and hardworking too. So we managed with our team efforts and we completed the project in time. And of course, the results were awesome. So that's the way you need to handle change. That's the way you need to answer this question. The next question, which generally asked, is how well do you work under pressure? These days, this question is asked very frequently. The reason behind this question is the employer or the interviewer wants to know whether you get stressed out or you panic under pressure, because these days company expect you to take more and more responsibility, and sometimes there will be greater workload also. So do you handle the work pressure well or not? They want to test it. So they may give you some situations also to check whether you work under pressure or not. So the best way to answer this question is, well, working under pressure or without pressure is the same for me. In my, I will give an example from my college project which I handled. We were given a project that I had to submit the project in 15 days. But suddenly, because of the some college changes, there were some university regulations and all, we got a date that was just 5 days after the date was announced. So Today is Monday, so Friday we had to submit the project. I was working along with four other team members. All of them started getting panic. How will we complete the project? We have still not started working on the project. We don't have the details. How will we do it? Then I ensured that they settled down and we completed the project in organized matter. Obviously, we had to work late night sometimes. All these 5 days we had to cut out our leisure time, but we finished our project on time. So I think working for under pressure is not too bad for me. I can handle that. So whenever I say all these questions, keep your answers brief and keep your answers to the topic, and it should lead to the career and to the position which you are applying for. The last question here is, why should we hire you? In this question, you need to market yourself. You need to talk about your personality traits, your skills, your qualification, which fits the requirement. You need to understand the job and match your qualification and traits to that job which it is asking for. Why this interviewer is asking? They want to check whether you are really fit for this position or not. So always talk about the positive things, the of strength of yours, and fit for the position you are applying for. In the end, I will say, whatever questions you are answering, keep the answers brief. It should always stick to the topic, and you should always consider the subject, the position which you are applying for. Do not take it somewhere else, because if you take it somewhere else, interviewer will pick it up and then ask questions. So you should keep the answers brief and to the topic, or to the subject or the position you are applying for. Now I will open the forum for any questions you all have. You can unmute yourself also and tell me if you have any questions. Anyone has any questions?
No. No questions.
So I want to tell you all, I hope you found something useful in this presentation. I am sure you have gained relevant confidence to face an interview without any fear. So whenever you are going for any interview, please show your complete confidence. Then only you'll be able to sail through with happy colors. I think some questions are there. Okay, no questions.